This is Coon Cassis for IFLTV. Well, don't suppose this was on your list before the 5k run this morning?
Speaking to you. I said when I came out of the lift, stomping ground were there, they had the light on. I said I felt like 80s paparazzi, you know, outside. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Felt famous.
Nicer paparazzi we are, though, aren't
Yeah,
we?
no, much nicer. Yeah, much nicer.
Okay, well, it's only been a few hours. When did you first learn about this?
Via email. I can't remember the day, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here, but via email. Fun and games, isn't it, Cook?
Has it been difficult, though? Because obviously I spoke to Ed and he said that it's been a few days and said that about the email, etc. But you've got a big fight week. It's like you're being interviewed and you're around the boxing scene. It's not like you're on holiday, you can switch your phone off. So you've had to kind of just put on a face and just let it play out.
Yeah, but I think, like I said it before, and I'm quite bad at this. Like, I'll just go, it is what it is, because it is, right? And you just have to get on with it, don't you? So, like, you can sit there and mope about. The reality is our business goes on week in, week out. You know, and we've never been defined by one fighter. We never will be defined by one fighter. We've got 10,000 sellout here in Nottingham. We've got 10,000 sellout next week in Nunes Navarrete in Phoenix. You know, and it's like when people say about fighters losing. Oh, it must be. It's like you just have to get on with it. Do you know what I mean? And if you sit there moping about all day, you never get anything done. So, like, it's kind of just another day in boxing. This is just a story no one really expected. You know? I'm not overly shocked. Personally.
Well, you must be one of the only ones that's not overly shocked then.
But I've always had an up and down relationship with Conor. I've been open about it, you know, like in interviews and things. We've always been up and down. And Conor cares about one person, himself. He doesn't care about what people have done for him. That's my opinion. And, you know, is what it is, isn't it? Like, we can sit here and mope and cry about it all, but it's done. And we now have to focus on the 100 fighters we represent and our DAZN broadcast deal of 40 shows a year. And, like, you know, I have like for me it's more personal than business because of everything I went through as well. You know, in that over those years with the Eubank fight, you know, it's cuts a bit different, but again, we are where we are.
I just want to touch on a couple of points that, obviously, speaking to Eddie at midnight last night, I asked Eddie whether what the financial situation, which I'm sure like you guys know roughly where Conor is and whether you guys could have matched, and Eddie said that we could have come close or we could have matched, but we weren't really given the opportunity to do that as such. But is that how it is?
I think the reality is the way it was all gone about as well. Like the truth is, when it comes to like fighters and opportunities, and it's different with each individual. You know, if you invest in a fight for one fight, you can't expect much loyalty, right? If you invest in him for 2 or 3 fights, you can't expect much loyalty. I think when you invest over a period of 10 years, huge sums of money to get someone in the place, he wouldn't be, and this isn't me, this sounds, you know, this probably won't go down well with certain people. He wouldn't be in the position he's in without us. I unequivocally sit here and say that, right? Obviously, he's had to go and do what he's had to go and do. He's got in the ring, you know, he's been through, you know, he's done an amazing job, and he's built himself into a star. He wouldn't be there without us. I believe that 1,000,000%. There's other fighters we sign and we do a fight with, 2 fights with, like Canelo. He was where he was without us. Does that make sense? But we did that for Conor, and you know, I think when you look at, it's the way it was all gone about, in truth, and the approach with it. But
in your honest opinion, because I was trying to think of this as well, is there a fight? Let's take money out aside of it. I know that's a big thing to say, but is there anything that Dana and Zuffa could do that Matchroom can't do? Because I'm trying to look at fights and I was thinking, surely any fight that Conor wanted, surely like Matchroom are capable of delivering any fight. So is there something that they can do that, if you're being subjective, is there anything you think that they can do that Matchroom and you and Eddie can't do for Conor?
could put him in the octagon. Maybe if we bought an octagon ring, we could have done that. No, I mean, no, but they've just made a huge play for him, and a play that doesn't, you know, it doesn't make commercial sense. But it's that's the business we're in. And what I find most interesting with it all is I think it's going to be really interesting what happens with all the UFC fighters now, because it's very public, right? And you've got fighters in the UFC who are much bigger stars than Conor Benn, and that's no disrespect to Conor Benn. Like, we all know the UFC is bigger, right? That are getting paid a fraction of what Conor Benn's getting paid. So I think actually that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out on that front. But is there anything? No, but it's just a game, isn't it, mate?
Well, somebody
They wanted to make a splash. What? They wanted to make a splash, you know?
Well, they certainly did that. Well, your future brother-in-law had a field day last night on social media.
I said he's
But which was expected.
yeah, exactly. He's 50 Cent of the UK and Dubai, isn't he? He's Dubai's 50 Cent. But what do you expect from him? Like, he's slagging.
What made me laugh is he couldn't work out whose fault this is, so he just called you all scumbags, really. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't call me a scumbag this week, so I'm having a good day. You know, Sunday lunch is going to be beautiful now. But again, like, that's his game, isn't it? That's what he does. I thought he liked Conor now. I thought I had respect for him. Now he's a scumbag. Can't keep up with it all.
Look, you have got a big show tonight in Nottingham, sold out, etc. And I do rate you and Hearn just for, you've got to just get on with it. What Hearn's going to be like? Look, there's people here waiting for Hearn right now. They're waiting for you, so you're going to have this all day.
I just did it. I walked out the lift. I'm like, "Can we talk to you for a minute?" But it is like, it's not the. Don't get me wrong. It's shocking because like people didn't expect it ever, right? But like, how many things have we been through in boxing over the years where people go, "Oh my goodness!" And every time there's one thing we always do, we come out and talk about it. Don't hide away from it. Don't go missing, because we've got to move on. Because if you sit there, like I say again, moping around, like, we'd be out of business, wouldn't we? We've got 100 fighters. We've got 40 shows. Let's get going. Let's have it. And let's go to war.
And you're ready here for the 5K? Legs and all?
I'm going to break records. Legs out today. Aerodynamic. 19-minute pace. Don't miss me.
Wood Warrington, just give that a plug. Why people should watch that tonight? What a fight.
Just do it for us. Come on. Tune in. See us. Smiling.
Matchroom need a hug right now.
Oh, I'm all right, mate. Do I look like a man who needs a hug?
No.
Exactly. I don't like sit here. It's not like a laugh and joke, but it is what it is. I cannot say it anymore. And Eddie goes mad at me because I say that about everything. But like, it's done. So, let's go.
Frank Smith, we'll see you on the 5K. I won't be running, but I'll be watching you.
Sounds a bit weird.
I'll be watching, observing the 5K.
Sounds a bit ominous. I won't be running, but I will be watching you.
All right, Liam Neeson. Frank Smith, thank you very much.
Cheers,